Like we were saying, you buy some of this stuff and it comes home and it's funky and it smells. Well, of course, we're OdoBan, right? We got some tips on cleaning up those secondhand things you find. So my first tip is going to be, look at the stuff you find and try to decide, do I really want to clean this? Because, of course, if you clean the wrong thing and you take the old finish off, that patina, that old finish, that could have been half the value. Because you guys have seen on Antiques Roadshow, right? They go, well, that's worth $25,000. Well, it would be if you hadn't cleaned it. Now it's worth $5. Speaking of stuff like that, I've got one of my examples here. This little tractor. So this little guy is cast iron. It's from probably 1920 or 25. This was one of my grandfather's toys when he was a child. I think it's from a company called Arcade, and it is a Fordson tractor. Now, this is a great example of something you don't really want to clean because it's got no paint anymore. It's just bare metal, and it's got this great patina. And if I were to just polish this up and clean all that off, well, I'd probably ruin any value it has, and it will just ruin the character of it too. But it does get dirty, right? It gets dusty sitting on the shelf. So the best thing you can do for stuff like this is get a soft bristle brush and just really work at that dust. Work that dust off of it, get the dirt off of it that accumulates. And that's a great way to clean something up, no chemicals, just the brush, without ruining whatever finish it has. Because you got to be careful. You sure don't want to blow out the value on something like that or just ruin its character.
Start out easy. Start out low and slow when it comes to cleaning them. I've got a set of oyster plates that my father-in-law had handed down to me, and these were his mother's. And they're just beautiful. They've got this nice, indents where you would put your oysters, but it's got the gold leaf, little design, and then around the edges. And this is something that can very easily be wiped off with the wrong cleaners. You definitely don't want to put anything in your dishwasher that has any type of gold leaf or any kind of metal accents to them.
Yeah.
And don't put those in the microwave, for God's sake.
Creates a beautiful lightning show, and in half a second it's ruined.
Yeah,
Poof,
sort of
gone.
like a firework.
Yeah, pow, gone.
Yeah. I started out with just, using water and like a microfiber cloth. This is one that we happen to carry. And so, I did all that with water, but it still had a little bit of a like grease, a little
that
stickiness.
Sticky, been displayed in the kitchen for too long.
Like if you've had them displayed up on a shelf or something or on your cabinet. So at that point, then I took a little bit of dish soap and wet my cloth again, and then I went back over, and that's all it took to take care of this. And I was able to save these, and they don't have any damage to them. So that's just something that you really do want to go low and slow.
Yeah, and Val's got a good point about that, especially when you're using chemicals to clean these things. You want to start out gentle. It's amazing with a simple microfiber cloth. This is our OdoBan Microsham. You can get these at Home Depot. This and just a little bit of water, it's amazing how much dirt you can actually remove with this stuff. Like, we'll do a little demo here. So this is Chester, the Wonder Cat, as I mentioned before. Chester actually belonged to my wife's grandmother. He's been around our house for a while.
He's so pretty.
He's a cutie. And he's just realistic enough. You see him out of the corner of your eye and you're like, when did we get a cat? But he's gotten a little dusty hanging out down there on the floorboard. So I'm going to start with just a little spray of water. Now, here's another tip. Don't spray the cleaning chemical directly on the antique. Spray it on your towel first. So just a little mist of water on there. And I'm actually going to hit him a little bit here. And you may not be able to see that on Chester because he's got such cool shading. But with a little work, the dirt comes off and you can see it builds up on the towel there. Now, if the water doesn't get it, there's some stains here and some probably some of that grease from being near the kitchen. You want to move up to a little bit more gentle cleaner. The trick is you don't want to use really aggressive stuff. You don't want to use like acid bathroom cleaner.
Anything abrasive.
Nothing abrasive or a high pH cleaner like a real degreaser. But something like I've got our 32X Oxy General Purpose Cleaner here. That's a mouthful of a name. Now this is in our professional series, and it's a peroxide-based cleaner that's fairly gentle and won't hurt most of this stuff. So you can buy this online. It's kind of hard to find in stores since it's the professional series, but it's a great one. It comes in a gallon jug, and you just dilute it down. So again, I'm going to spray it on the cloth first. And we're going to hit him down here. He's collected a little dust on this end. See if I can do this without knocking our table over here. And see, that gets just a little deeper clean, pulls the dirt right out. So that's always the thing is start gentle and work a little more aggressive as you go. You certainly don't want to damage something that belonged to your spouse's grandmother.
It's missing it's missing something.
What are you doing? What are you doing to my cat? What? Googly eyes?
Googly eyes.
God, that's creepy. What? Your grandmother put googly eyes on the statue.
She put googly eyes on everything that had eyes to it. So, I mean, it was crazy.
What? That's okay. All right, guys. Can you imagine walking through a house of these things with the googly eyes following you? That is bizarre. I mean, I kind of like it. It's like he's staring into your soul.
Into your soul. Into your soul.
Thanks for watching this episode of the OdoShow on YouTube.
And if you like what you saw, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell button so that you always have a notification of when we're on.
We're kicking out great cleaning content all the time. So until next time, make life fresh.